Today is Gaudete Sunday, and you'd expect all the readings to be full of joy. And yet, in the Gospel, we are given what seems to be a very sad reading. As we said last week, that John the Baptist, Jesus' cousin, was the precursor of the coming of the Messiah, the long-awaited one, which all of Israel had prayed for, and especially at this time of distress and desperation, where the majority were poor, where the majority had little hope, except the Anawim. The Anawim were the group, as we translate it, were mostly the poor. And there were many poor, and they continued to follow Jesus and have great hope. And then suddenly we have John the Baptist, the herald, the one who spoke so strong and gathered hundreds and hundreds and thousands of people. He was now in prison. When John the Baptist heard in prison of the works of Christ, he sent out his disciples to Jesus with this question: "Are you the one who is to come, or should we look for another?" John perhaps was thinking, where are the armies? Where is the majesty? Where was the great war that could be fought so that the Messiah would triumph in the whole world? And instead, he sees Jesus continue as a simple, itinerant preacher. I think Jesus allowed him to have these doubts, but he wanted us ordinary people not to be afraid at times of doubt. To doubt even the most beautiful messages, to be afraid, to run away in fear from what they might demand of us. Doubting is something that we all must do. We must deal with it, especially those who are demanding it of us, especially those who search in the spiritual side of man. Because it is a value like you, if you can talk about the success of your business or your farmers or things like that, you can also talk about the things that you doubt. And what does Jesus say to them? Well, he quotes Isaiah the prophet in the year 2000 BC, when it seems that the whole of Israel will be destroyed by their enemies. The prophet then said these words: "The blind will see, the lame will walk, and the lepers will be cleansed, and the deaf will hear, and the dead will be raised." And this is what Jesus quotes to the disciples: "Go back and tell John what you see and hear. The blind have been seen, they can see again. The deaf hear again. The lame walk again. And finally the poor have the good news proclaimed to them." This is the final summary. The poor will have the good news proclaimed to them, and blessed is the one who is not offended by this. The poor, the Anawim of God, those who believe that God is with them or coming to them, will be completely with them. It is God who they believe in totally and completely. They don't believe in systems. They don't believe in money. They don't believe in power. They believe that the presence of God will be with them, and that's what they've been praying for. Jesus says, "You have the good news now here amongst you. I am proclaiming it." Jesus is saying this is the way it will be done, not with power, but with weakness, not with shouting, but with soft voices of persuasion, not with any kind of magical magic. It will be done in the ordinariness of every man's life, in the ordinariness of life itself, because I have come to show you, if you follow my eyes, you will see as I see, you will hear what I hear, and will dance as I dance. For God has come to make his home in your heart. This is Jesus' message then. And of course, John understood. You must remember this. If you are going to see as he sees and hear as he hears and do as he does, you're going to have to become one of the Anawim, the poor. Because the definition of the Anawim is those who know their need for God. And if you know your need for God, he will always be there, for he has come to take up his life and gives up his love in every step of the way.